Welcome to Networking Arizona with host Carol Blonder. You'll hear interviews with businesses located throughout the valley. Networking, it makes a difference.
If I traded it.
Welcome to the show, everyone. And it's such a beautiful day out there, and it's a great day to be networking. And if you want to get yourself heard on my show, give us a call here at 602-277-5369. We'll get you connected with me so I can get the word out about what you do on my show. Okay, I'm going in with my guest, and we have decided he is the longest one now, the longest running guest that's been on my show for now 6 years. He's been coming on. Ted Watkins, who is an enrolled agent. Welcome back to the show.
It's great to be back, Carol. I'm taking a break from pounding out tax returns.
Wow, thank God. You have to take a break sometime and come up for air and come on my show, because now what you have to do is sort of talk to everybody about why they need to get their stuff together right now and what you're going to do for everybody today. Go ahead.
Okay. Well, first of all, I'm what's called an enrolled agent. And for those of you who haven't heard about enrolled agents, we've actually been around a very long time. President Abraham Lincoln started us back in the 1860s. And we're actually licensed by the federal government. So I can, if you're listening in another state besides Arizona, I can help you out. So enrolled agents, we prepare tax returns. I prepare quite a few business and individual tax returns. But also if you have issues with the IRS or the state taxing authorities, I can help you out. All you have to do is to fill out a power of attorney, and then you don't have to talk to IRS ever again. So most people don't like that. I can also do a lot of work with the Arizona Department of Revenue and the California Franchise Tax Board, as well as a lot of other states throughout the country. So that's what I do. But right now it's tax season. So right now we're concentrating on getting everybody's tax return prepared. Although if you have problems, I can still help you out. Unfortunately, the IRS back in the day, and I've been an enrolled agent since 1978, so I'm an old dude. So, but anyway, unfortunately, back in the day, the IRS used to give us a pass during the tax season. And what I mean by that, if they were auditing you or if you owed them money, they would wait till after April 15th. Unfortunately, that's not the case anymore. So I've actually been doing a fair amount of work with people with tax issues as well as preparing returns.
What I like about Ted is he likes to help everybody out there. He gives away lots of things. We're going to talk about that in just a minute. But what I love about you the most, besides you being as meticulous as you are, you have a sharp pencil. And we like that about people who do this kind of thing because, you know, you need somebody who can help you find as many deductions as you can to help you out to get as much money back as you can.
You bet. As much as we can legally get for you, we'll get for you. So what I have on my website is tedwatkinsea.com, and on the website I have I call it a tax organizer or a tax questionnaire. And if you go to the home page on the left-hand side, it says Tax Center, and you just click on that, and it says Free Tax Organizer. And what that is, it's actually grown to up to 15 pages now. But you don't have to be intimidated about it because it's kind of a one-size-fits-all. So it covers people that own a small business, or if you own rental property, or if you sold stocks and bonds and so forth. So all you have to do is to fill out the pages that apply to you. You don't have to worry about most of the time about filling out any more than about 4 or 5 pages.
So we're going to open up the lines to the audience because Ted likes to do lots of things for everybody. Not only is he going to enter everybody in to win a 2015 either business or personal tax return, he's also going to give you either a Walmart or a Starbucks card to go along with that. And that I'm going to give everybody the tax organizer because there's a lot of people out there that may not be able to go on the online and stuff like that. So I'll make sure that everyone gets that. All you have to do is call here at 602-277-5369. Toll free, it's 1-866-536-1100. You got to check him out. He has 2 locations. One is in North Scottsdale, and the other one is in North Phoenix. And you can check out his website, which is tedwatkinsea.com. And what else? You go back 3 years for people for no charge. You do free consultations. It's a no-brainer. Give him a call.
You bet. So what we do, we'll take a look at your 2012, 13, and 14 tax returns at no cost to you, and I'll take a look and see to make sure that you've gotten all the deductions that you're entitled to. And if you have, that's fine. Then we'll say that we'll go on, and if you'd like to do, or us to do your 2015 return, we'll be happy to do that. But if you miss some pretty big deductions, we would recommend, that you file an amended tax return, and you'll get some additional tax refund. So
our number here is 602-277-5369. Toll free. It's 1-866-536-1100. Get yourself entered in to win a 2015 either business or personal tax return, and that's about a $350, $400 value, free to you. You're also going to get that Walmart card or the gift card from Starbucks, and again, everybody's going to get that tax organizer. So call here, or you can also call him direct. His phone number is 602-363-1952 or 480-707-7670. Okay, a lot of people right now, they try and do things on their own. We know that they can go online and they can see all these things that they see on television and stuff like that. What is the difference between coming to someone like you and going to some of the big box stores or doing it on their own?
Okay, well, for one thing, most of the, like H&R Block, Jackson Hewitt, and Liberty, most of their people only have anywhere from 2 weeks to 2 months of training. So like I said, I've been doing this since 1978. I also spend a pretty fair amount of money each year going to seminars and staying up with the tax code. There's 80,000 pages in the tax code. So if you want to try to go through that, be my guest. But I keep up on all the latest changes, and you may not have heard, but there's been a lot of changes during the Obama administration. It's just you probably may not have heard about a lot of them. So that's one thing. My tax organizer, I think, is much better than what H&R Block and the rest of them give you. So it goes through just about every legal deduction that you're entitled to. So if you go through that and then also let us look at your last 3 years' tax returns, I can almost guarantee you're going to save a lot of money. And also, my fees are not, they're really comparable to what the H&R Block and the rest of them charge. In fact, a lot of times I'm under, particularly H&R Block has had some serious price increases during the last 2 or 3 years.
It's all their advertising.
Yeah, that's right. In all their locations, I guess.
Right. But here's the thing. Also, what about having an enrolled agent be behind you and somebody who's been doing this since 1978? He has 2 Valley locations. You can either go to the North Scottsdale or the North Phoenix locations. You can also check him out. Check him out at tedwatkinsea.com, and you can call him at 602-363-1952 or go to 480-707-7670. And we've got our lines open here. We're going to keep them open throughout the rest of the show, too. We got to come back. We're going to go to a break in a minute and also talk further about some of the things that you can do for them. Our lines are open here, and it is tax season. It is refund season. So give us a call here. He's entering everyone in to win an either business or personal tax return, 2015 tax return, done by an enrolled agent with a very sharp pencil. And also, you're going to get a Walmart card to go along with that. You're going to get a Starbucks card, either one of those. Also, he's going to give you that tax organizer. He does free consultations with everyone. Give us a call here at 602-277-5369, and toll free it's 1-866-536-1100. Why would anyone want to call the IRS themselves?
They wouldn't, that's for sure. And another thing I wanted to point out, too, the large companies, H&R Block and so forth, after April 15th, most of them close up, except they may have a district office. So if you have any problems or get any notices, you're going to have to go to Timbuktu a lot of times for somebody to
Nobody wants to go to Timbuktu.
That's right. For somebody to take a look at your notice and to help you out. We're open year-round, so you can track me down either in North Phoenix or North Scottsdale, and we'll take a look and help you out.
We'll be back in just a minute. We're going to go to a break, and we're going to talk further about some of the things that you can do, some of the things that they don't know that they can write off. Again, give us a call here. Our lines are open. You can keep on calling, guys. Our number here is 602-277-5369. He can help anyone from anywhere, so everyone that's listening from all over the world, you can also call toll-free at 877-5369.
If I traded it all, if I gave
Welcome
it
back.
all.
We're talking with Ted Watkins. He's been coming on the show for many years. He's helped a lot of people out there. He is an enrolled agent. He has a sharp, very sharp pencil. He's very meticulous. He has a tax organizer that is probably better than any tax organizer you've ever seen out there. Even though it has 15 pages, you can easily go, just don't be intimidated by it. You just go to what pertains to you. We have our lines open here for everybody to get entered in to win a 2015, either your business or personal tax return. You're going to get that Walmart card to go with that, a Starbucks card, either one of those, and the tax organizer. I'm going to be giving that to everyone too. He does free consultations with everyone. He's been doing this since 1978, and he will also go back for you for 3 years for free as well. And our number here is 602-277-5369. Toll free, it's 1-866-536-1100. So let's talk about deductions and some of the things they may not know that they can write off.
Okay, sure. For most individuals, your largest deduction is going to be your mortgage interest and your real estate taxes. But there's a lot of other deductions that are still available. For example, your medical expenses, and in Arizona, we're one of the few states that allow people to deduct 100% of your medical. Most of the other states follow the federal rules, and it has to be more than 7.5% of your adjusted income. So in Arizona, it's always worth tracking your medical expenses, whereas it may not be worth your while to deduct it on the federal government or the federal return. Also, if you're entitled to deduct medical mileage. A lot of people miss that. So all your little trips to Walmart, Walgreens, dentists, doctors, hospitals, etc., they allow you an allowance for mileage. Charitable contributions. They also allow deduction for mileage for charitable contributions. You're also able to, of course, deduct any cash contributions. One thing they're big on this year is if you deduct more than $250 to your church or any other charity, they require a letter. And I've actually had some people run into problems on an audit where they don't have the letters, and they went back and tried to get the letter back after the audit started, and the IRS disallowed it because the letter was dated after the tax year. So that's something you got to watch out for. Other deductions, of course, your tax preparation fees are deductible. Your employee unreimbursed employee business expenses are deductible. Also, any fees that you pay to a person like me or a tax attorney to help you out fighting the IRS or the state, those are deductible. So there's still quite a few things, although for most people, unfortunately, if you don't have mortgage interest or real estate taxes, you're going to have to take what they call the standard deduction, which is an amount that varies whether you're single, head of household, or married, filing joint. So they kind of build in a certain amount of deductions that they allow you without having to actually prove each and every deduction. So those are the main deductions. There's others. But
I'm sure there are, because you have 15 pages worth of things for people to do.
And there's 80,000 pages of the tax code. So
wow. Okay, so let's talk about the people that put their head in the sands, so that because they don't want to do their taxes because they owe money.
Okay. Yeah, unfortunately, particularly with this bad economy, I've seen lots and lots of people over the last, since about 2008, where they haven't had the money to pay the tax. They don't, because they didn't have the money, they says, well, I don't want to file a tax return. That's actually the worst thing you can do, because believe it or not, the failure to file penalty is much, much, much higher, about 5 times higher than the failure to pay penalty. And that may not make any sense to you, but the IRS has a program for several years about they want people to be in what they call full filing compliance, which means that you've filed all your tax returns now up to date through 2014. So even if you can't pay the tax, you can actually save yourself a lot of money in the long run by filing all your tax returns on time, because even if you owe, you're going to save a ton of money because you won't be charged the failure to file penalty. So that's one thing a lot of people don't know. Also, you can't, if you want someone like me to help you, either set up a monthly payment plan or you've seen all the ads on the TV or the radio or heard them about pennies on the dollar. And what IRS is talking about there is they have a program called the Offer and Compromise Program. And what that is you offer the IRS a percentage of what you owe. So say if you owed $100,000 just for a number, you might offer them $20,000, $25,000. And if they accept it, then they'll write off the difference. So, but you can't even apply for that program if you haven't filed all your tax returns up to date. So actually I spend more time and more work a lot of times in getting your tax returns up to date, because I have people come in that haven't filed for 10 or 12 or even 15 years. I think the longest one I have is 19 years a guy hadn't filed. And when you haven't filed for that length of time, it's, your records disappear, you move, they get in floods or whatever.
You're in deep doo-doo.
You're in deep doo-doo. And the IRS only keeps records back right now to about 2003. So if you have to file a return prior to 2003, then it's up to you to go track down all of your W-2s, all your deductions, and 12, 15 years out, that's very difficult for a lot of people.
Now, tell them about your program, how you can go back for 3 years for them, and, it's no charge whatsoever, so...
Well, yeah, I can. I go back and look at your 2012, 13, and 14 returns at no cost. And like I said earlier, if think it's good for you to file an amended return, we'll recommend that. If the returns look fine and they've been properly prepared, I'll tell you that too. I'm not looking to generate extra work. I mean, it has to be a substantial additional refund that you'd receive before we would recommend you do an amended, because of course there are some fees for amended. They're not huge, but you still want to be saving a couple $1,000s or so. Right.
Well, there's a lot of people who don't want to do their taxes. Certainly, with this economy, so many people have been hit, and a lot of people put their head in the sands, like we said earlier. You shouldn't do that. Ted has been doing this since 1978. He has 2 locations. One is in North Phoenix. The other one is in North Scottsdale. His phone number is 602-363-1952 or 480-707-7670. You can check him out on his website. It is tedwatkinsea.com. And again, I have my lines open here, and we're going to leave them open throughout the rest of the show for everybody to get entered in to win a 2015 either business or personal tax return. You're also going to get that Walmart card or the gift card to Starbucks along with that. Either one of those. And the tax organizer. We want everybody to have this tax organizer. Everybody should go through it. Don't be intimidated by it at all. But we're going to give that to you, too. He does free consultations with everyone. Our number here is 602-277-5369. And toll-free, it's 1-866-536-1100. What next?
Okay, well, one other thing about not filing, too. I mean, the IRS isn't the most efficient government or bureaucracy in the world, but they do eventually catch up with you. And the problem also is that, unfortunately, the Arizona Department of Revenue is more efficient than the IRS is. So eventually what they'll do is they'll send you a whole series of notices, and if you ignore them, then eventually they can do a bank levy or levy against your bank account, savings accounts, IRAs, Social Security. They can take 15%, and they can also, probably the worst, though, is the wage or salary levy, because they haven't changed the exemptions that they allow you to keep for a very long time, and they can take a heck of a lot of what your salary is.
You know, the last time you were on, too, you were mentioning how that you could also, even for 2015, pay something to some donation for, I think it's school or whatever, and still get that donation doing it now, right?
That's right. Yeah, Arizona.
Tell them.
Okay, in Arizona, we're one of the very few states we have a whole series of tax credits. And a tax credit is much more beneficial to you than a tax deduction, because a tax deduction just gives you, say, if you donate $100 to something and you're in the 20% bracket, you're only going to save $20 in tax. But a tax credit is dollar for dollar. So if you donate $100 to one of the Arizona credits, then you get $100 back on your Arizona tax return. So we have several credits. We have one for the working poor, foster children, military relief fund. But we also have one for private schools and then the public school credit. And what you can do is you can actually get the credit for 2015 as long as you make the deduction by April 15th of this year. So it's a pretty good deal. Now, you don't get to deduct it on your federal tax return, but you still get that credit on your Arizona tax return.
He has 2 Valley locations. One is in North Scottsdale. The other one is in North Phoenix. His phone number is 602-363-1952 or 480-707-7670. Check him out at tedwatkinsea.com or keep on calling here at 602-277-5369 and get enrolled into getting yourself a free business or personal tax return.